On January 18th, the manga artist Hinako Ashihara posted on her new X account the word test. 10 days later, on January 28th, she posted, "I didn't mean to attack, I'm sorry." Later that day, she was reported missing. The following day, it was reported that she had passed away, with a note having been found at her home, indicating that she had indeed taken her own life. This was 4 days after her 50th birthday. Why on earth did this happen? To preface, this isn't a video about pointing fingers. We're going to just piece together some of the events that had taken place leading up to this tragedy. Please note that the information in this video is currently what has been reported so far at the time of this recording. Born in the Hyogo Prefecture, Hinako Ashihara was known for her slice of life and romantic works that often explored the themes of family, relationships, and everyday life. Out of all of her works, Sexy Tanaka-san was her longest running and most commercially successful series, serialized by the publisher Shogakukan. With a strong fan base already established, Sexy Tanaka-san would end up getting a live-action TV adaptation to reach a wider audience. There would be a total of 10 episodes, with the first episode being broadcasted through the Nippon Television Network Corporation, or NTV for short, on October 22nd, 2023. Now, the screenwriter chosen for the live adaptation of Sexy Tanaka-san was the veteran Tomoko Aizawa. However, in late December, Tomoko Aizawa would post a message on her Instagram following the last episode's air date, where she states that she had experienced something she never did before, in that the original author, indicating Hinako Ashihara, wanted to write the screenplay for the end herself, and that she had to, quote-unquote, unfortunately, cooperate. Although she didn't mention Ashihara-sensei by name, her comments on the post were interpreted by fans as a dig towards her. Tomoko Aizawa would then post on her Instagram again to clarify her comments, stating that she had received a lot of comments and DMs in regards to the final episode. In the post, she reveals that although she did write episodes 1 to 8, it was the original author that wrote the last 2 episodes. She would continue with saying that she was made to think about the role of the screenwriter, and wrote that she was telling herself to use this bitter experience for next time. Lastly, she writes that she hopes this never happens again. With this post made on December 28th, it became more clear to fans as to what had happened, and undoubtedly voices started to reach the original author, Hinako Ashihara, as on January 26th, Ashihara-sensei would take to X and her blog, writing a lengthy post in regards as to why she ended up writing the last 2 episodes. Within the post, she explains that what she writes has also been checked with the publisher Shogakukan. She continues saying that she had never met the screenwriter or had a chance to talk with the director or any of the production staff directly to talk about the contents of the drama adaptation, and that everything written here is truly what happened for her side. She explains that Sexy Tanaka-san might seem like a strange sort of love comedy manga, but it was written with the intention of helping those with low self-esteem. One of the many key points she states is that at the time of agreeing with the adaptation, Sexy Tanaka-san wasn't completed yet, and that she had agreed under the conditions that the drama would remain faithful to the manga, and if that wasn't the case, as in that wasn't reflected in the script, that she would correct it. She would also be the one to provide what was needed for the final of the drama, including the synopsis and all the lines, and that these should not be changed. She told NTV about her conditions through Shogakukan. However, she understood that these conditions were disrespectful to the screenwriter, the director, and everyone else involved with the production, which is why she checked with NTV many times before the drama adaptation could move forward. Despite that, every time she was presented with a plot and a script that were completely different from what was present in the manga. This included changes to major plot twists, characters presented with different personalities, and even the axing of many scenes that were integral to sexy Tanaka-san. When she asked about these changes, she never received an answer that she could accept. After repeatedly protesting these changes, saying that if the personality of the sexy Tanaka-san that she wrote is lost, then she would want the drama adaptation to stop. It was only after carefully explaining her desire for no changes and doing corrections that episodes 1 to 7 were written, keeping as close to the original canon as possible. She explains that the main intermediary between her side and everyone involved with the production of the drama were the producers, and they were the ones tasked with informing the production staff at NTV about the conditions set out by Shogakukan. While performing her corrections, she wondered what had happened to the conditions set out for the drama adaptation, as her side had no way of knowing how the producers conveyed that information to the drama's production staff, and she writes that she was really fatigued around this time. In the post, she goes on to talk about all the other changes she had to make for the last episodes too, as the initial conditions she set out for the drama adaptation continued to be unfulfilled. With time pressing, she decided to take a more direct role in writing episodes 9 and 10, but regrets that someone inexperienced such as herself had written them, worrying that people would be dissatisfied. She writes that she doesn't know what the right answer would have been, and then apologizes. Lastly, she thanks the cast and the drama's production team, and everyone who loves the manga and drama Sexy Tanaka-san. However, on January 28th, she would erase this post, and on the same day post, "I didn't mean to attack. I'm sorry." A possible reason for this is that the screenwriter Aizawa Tomoko seemed to have received a lot of criticism for her post on December 24th. After Ashihara-sensei's death, there was an SNS uproar, with many blaming Aizawa Tomoko because she had changed the original work, as well as a lot of hate comments towards NTV. NTV left a short statement on their official website saying they regretted hearing about Hinako Ashihara's passing, and also called for a stop to the harassment of the production team involved with the drama Sexy Tanaka-san. This just further enraged many, saying that this statement was inadequate. Shogakukan eventually released their own statement, expressing their frustration and sadness of the situation, and going on to say that the drama does in fact stay in line with Ashihara-sensei's intentions due to the negotiations had with the drama's production team, so everyone can rest assured and enjoy the drama. After a couple of weeks of silence, Aizawa Tomoko would then post on her Instagram again on February 8th, explaining that she had read Ashihara-sensei's blog and that she was at a loss for words, as she was hearing a lot of things for the first time. She goes on to say that her mind went blank after hearing about Ashihara-sensei's death, after she had been struggling for days trying to understand what was true or not. She also writes that she regrets the things she had said via SNS and wished she had known about this much sooner. After expressing her sadness and regret, she goes on to say she hopes this never happens again and that she will erase this account. Full of anger and sadness, people online are still looking for who to blame for this tragic occurrence. Was this a case of miscommunication, corporate negligence, or something else? From what we can understand, there was a creator passionate and caring about her work and the messages she wanted to convey through it, which seemingly never reached another creator dedicated to her craft. With so much pain Japan has already gone through this year, it now loses a beloved creator. As someone who loves and respects creators and the pride they put into their work, this was a very difficult video for me to make. But if there is one thing I could take away from all this, is that even though we can't control what happens behind closed doors of big organizations, we can control the things that we say online. Rest in peace, Sensei.